Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you create. Now imagine for a moment walking into any room, facing any challenge, or tackling any task, and knowing you've got this, not because you're perfect, but because you trust yourself. This kind of confidence isn't something you just hope for. It's something you build every single day, brick by brick. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. You see, most people wait for confidence to just show up, but the reality is it doesn't work like that. Confidence is a choice, and it starts with small, intentional actions. It's about doing the hard things, taking control of what you can, and facing discomfort. Because on the other side of that discomfort is the growth you need. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you practical tools and strategies that you can start applying right away. These aren't some abstract ideas. They're real, actionable steps that will help you transform your self-doubt into solid confidence. If you've ever struggled with uncertainty, self-criticism, or wondering whether you're good enough, this video is for you. Stick around, because what you're about to learn could be the game changer you've been looking for. Let's dive into how you can finally build the unstoppable confidence you deserve. Number 1, start with small actions that build momentum. Building confidence is something we all strive for. It's not something that magically happens overnight. It's not about waiting for the right moment, the perfect circumstances, or even the right feelings. It's about showing up every day and putting in the work. Confidence is built one small step at a time, and that's the truth. You don't have to take huge leaps, and you don't need to make massive changes right away. What you need to do is take small actions that will build momentum. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. How starting with small actions can build unstoppable confidence. Confidence doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's a muscle that you have to exercise. And just like any muscle, it gets stronger with consistent effort. When you're working on building confidence, you need to understand this simple idea. Every small action you take is like putting a brick in the foundation of your confidence. It doesn't matter if the actions seem insignificant or small in the grand scheme of things. What matters is that you start taking them. The more actions you take, the more momentum you create. And the more momentum you create, the stronger your confidence becomes. It's a snowball effect. When you think about confidence, you might envision a person who walks into a room with their head held high. Someone who seems to have it all together. But you know what? That person didn't get there by waiting for everything to align perfectly. They got there by taking small actions every day that built up over time. That's how confidence works. It's about taking those first steps, even when you're unsure or uncertain. It's about doing the things that make you feel uncomfortable. Knowing that every time you do, you're adding to that foundation. One of the most important things to realize is that it doesn't matter how small the action is. Whether it's waking up 30 minutes earlier, making one phone call you've been avoiding, or walking into a new room and introducing yourself to someone. It doesn't matter. It's about taking action. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take that first step, you create momentum. And momentum is a powerful thing. Every time you take action, you prove to yourself that you can do it. You prove to yourself that you're capable. It's easy to get caught up in thinking that you need to make huge changes in your life to feel confident. But the truth is, you don't. You just need to take action, no matter how small, and then build from there. One small win will lead to another. And before you know it, you'll be looking back at how far you've come. What's amazing about building confidence through small actions is that it creates a ripple effect in your life. You start to notice that the more you take action, the more things begin to fall into place. When you take one small step, you feel better about yourself. You feel stronger, more capable, and more in control. And that feeling, that's what fuels you to take the next step and the next and the next. This process of taking small steps and building momentum is something that works for anyone. No matter where you are in life or how much confidence you have right now. Maybe right now you're struggling with self-doubt or fear of failure. That's okay. Everyone feels that way at some point. But what separates those who achieve confidence from those who don't is action. You can't sit around waiting for confidence to find you. You need to take it by doing something, anything, that pushes you forward. And here's the truth. You don't need to be perfect. Perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. If you're waiting for everything to be perfect before you take action, you'll be waiting forever. You need to embrace the idea that progress, not perfection, is the goal. If you stumble along the way, that's okay. If you make a mistake, that's okay too. What matters is that you keep moving forward, even if it's just a small step. You can't compare your journey to someone else's. Everyone has their own path to walk, and you have no idea the struggles they're facing behind the scenes. What matters is your journey, and right now your journey starts with taking those small steps. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Focus on your own progress and trust that every small action you take is leading you to something bigger. It's all about momentum. Let's think about a simple example. Let's say you want to get in better shape. You could sit there and think about it for weeks, months, or even years. You could tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll start next week. But guess what? You'll never build the confidence to get to the gym by putting it off. The way to build confidence in your fitness journey is by starting today, right now, with one small action. Maybe it's just a 10-minute walk. Maybe it's a short workout at home. It doesn't matter how small it is. What matters is that you take action. And once you take that first step, you'll feel more confident about taking the next one. And the next, and eventually you'll look back and realize how far you've come. It's the same with anything you want to build confidence in. Whether it's learning a new skill, starting a new project, or improving your relationships. It all starts with that one small action. And that action leads to another, and another. And before long, you've built something bigger than you ever imagined. Confidence doesn't come from waiting for things to change. It comes from making the decision to take that first step. And once you take that first step, you'll never look back. The key to building unstoppable confidence is simple. Start with small actions. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for everything to be lined up. Just start. Take one step forward today, and then take another. Tomorrow. Each action you take will build momentum. And that momentum will build your confidence. Over time, you'll look back and see how far you've come. And you'll realize that every small action led to something powerful and unstoppable. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter how small the action is. What matters is that you start. Every small step you take is a victory. And those victories add up. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you create. And you create it by taking small actions every single day. So go ahead, take that first step, and watch your confidence grow. Number 2, face discomfort. It's the path to growth. There's something incredible that happens when you face discomfort. Something shifts in you. You start to realize that discomfort is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally. Every single time you feel uncomfortable, that's when the growth starts to take place. If you want to build confidence, if you want to level up in life, if you want to push yourself beyond the limits that you've set for yourself, you need to face discomfort. In fact, discomfort is the path to growth. And if you're serious about building unstoppable confidence, you need to learn how to embrace it, how to step into it with both feet. It's so easy to avoid discomfort. Our brains are wired to avoid pain, to take the path of least resistance. The problem is, growth doesn't come from comfort. Growth doesn't happen when you're sitting on the couch, or when you're doing things that are easy and familiar. Growth comes from stepping into the unknown, from doing things that scare you, from facing challenges that make you uncomfortable. It's in those moments of discomfort where the magic happens, where your confidence begins to take root and grow. You've heard it before. Success doesn't come to those who wait for the perfect circumstances. Success comes to those who take action, even when they're scared, even when they feel uncertain, even when they're uncomfortable. And you know what? That discomfort is actually a sign that you're on the right path. Because every time you push yourself past your comfort zone, you're stretching yourself, you're learning something new, you're challenging your old beliefs about what you're capable of. And that's how you build confidence. That's how you prove to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. Let's be real. Nobody likes to be uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. It feels easier to stay in your safe zone, doing the things you already know how to do, sticking with what's familiar. But if you keep living that way, you'll never change. You'll never grow. You'll never experience the kind of progress that builds real confidence. The truth is, you can't stay where you are and expect to get somewhere new. If you want different results, if you want to feel more confident, you have to step into discomfort. You have to take the first step, even when you don't feel ready. Think about the times in your life when you've grown the most. I guarantee you, those were the times when you stepped out of your comfort zone. Those were the moments when you decided to take on a challenge, when you pushed yourself to do something you weren't sure you could do. Maybe it was a new job, a new project, or even just starting something as simple as a workout routine. It felt hard at first. You weren't sure if you could do it. You felt that discomfort. But once you took that first step, once you pushed through the discomfort, you started to feel different. You started to feel stronger, more capable, more confident. That discomfort didn't defeat you. It made you better. When you face discomfort, you're telling yourself that you're capable of more than you think. You're showing yourself that you can handle the tough stuff, the stuff that scares you. And each time you face that discomfort, you build trust in yourself. You build the kind of confidence that doesn't rely on external circumstances. You build the kind of confidence that comes from within. The confidence that says, I can handle whatever comes my way. I've been through the hard stuff before, and I'll get through it again. Here's the thing. Growth isn't supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to feel comfortable. If you're comfortable all the time, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're not becoming the person you were meant to be. Confidence isn't built by playing it safe. Confidence is built by facing challenges, by taking risks, by stepping into the unknown. Confidence is built by doing the things that scare you, even when you don't feel ready. I know it's not easy. I know it's hard to push through those moments of discomfort. But I also know this: every time you do, you get stronger. You get closer to the person you're meant to be. Every time you face discomfort, you break through a barrier. And that's how you grow. That's how you build confidence. You don't grow by staying in your comfort zone. You don't grow by avoiding challenges. You grow by leaning into discomfort, by choosing to face the hard stuff instead of running away from it. Look, I get it. You're going to be afraid. You're going to feel uncertain. But that's okay. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to feel 100% ready. You just have to take that first step, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because once you take that first step, the next step becomes easier, and the next, and the next. And before you know it, what once seemed impossible becomes just another part of your journey. It's like when you're learning to ride a bike. At first it feels terrifying. You're wobbly, unsure, and you're afraid of falling. But with each attempt, with each time you get back up, it becomes easier. And eventually you're riding with confidence. Not because it's easy, but because you've faced the discomfort and made it through. And that's how it is with anything in life. The more you face discomfort, the more confident you become. You prove to yourself that you can do hard things. And every time you prove that, you build the kind of confidence that is unshakable. So stop avoiding discomfort. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for everything to feel easy. If you want to grow, if you want to build real, lasting confidence, you have to step into the discomfort. You have to embrace the challenges, the fear, and the uncertainty. Because on the other side of that discomfort is growth. And on the other side of that growth is unstoppable confidence. And once you've built that confidence, there's nothing that can stop you. So the next time you feel uncomfortable, don't shy away from it. Don't let it stop you. Step into it. Face it head on. Because every time you do, you're getting closer to becoming the confident, unstoppable person you were meant to be. And that confidence, once it's built, will carry you through anything. It will be your foundation, your strength, your reminder that you are capable of more than you've ever imagined. Number 3, stop worrying about what you can't control. There's something liberating about realizing you can't control everything. I'm not talking about giving up. I'm talking about understanding what you can influence and what you can't. The moment you stop worrying about the things you can't control, you free up a huge amount of mental space to focus on what really matters. The stress, the anxiety, the constant churn in your mind, those all come from trying to control things that are beyond your reach. And once you make peace with that, everything shifts. Suddenly, you feel lighter, more in control of yourself, and more empowered to focus on the things that actually matter. We live in a world where we're constantly told we need to have everything figured out, where we're supposed to control our outcomes, where success is about micromanaging every detail. But the reality is there's so much we can't control, no matter how much we try. People's actions, how the economy is doing, the weather tomorrow, those things aren't in your hands. But what is in your control is how you respond, the way you choose to approach situations, the way you deal with setbacks, the way you decide to show up each day. That's where your power lies. Imagine this. You spend hours, days, even weeks, stressing over something that's out of your control. You worry about how others perceive you, what's going to happen in the future, what the outcome of your efforts will be. In doing so, you waste so much energy, mental and emotional bandwidth on things that you can't influence. And what do you get for all that worry? Nothing. It doesn't change the outcome. It only drains you. It robs you of your peace, your joy, and your ability to be present. Now think about what happens when you stop worrying about the uncontrollable. Think about how much space that opens up in your mind. When you shift your focus away from trying to control every little thing, and instead focus on what you can do today, what you can influence in this moment, everything changes. You start taking ownership of your actions, your thoughts, and your decisions. You stop wasting energy on things you can't control, and instead you start investing that energy into what you can shape and change. The truth is, trying to control everything is exhausting. It's overwhelming. And ultimately, it's futile. There are so many things that are simply out of your hands. And when you learn to accept that, you stop fighting against the tide. You stop swimming upstream. You let go of the unnecessary burden. And you move forward with greater clarity and purpose. You stop allowing external factors to define your inner peace. Instead, you take back control over your reactions, your mindset, and your actions. That's where real power comes from. Think about the last time something didn't go the way you wanted it to. Maybe it was a situation where you didn't get the result you were hoping for. Or maybe you couldn't predict what would happen next. How much of your energy did you spend worrying about it? How many times did you replay that moment in your mind, trying to figure out what went wrong, what you could have done differently? It's so easy to get stuck in that loop, isn't it? But in the end, no matter how much you worry, no matter how much you analyze every single detail, it doesn't change what happened. And it definitely doesn't change what will happen next. Instead, imagine if instead of worrying, you focused on what you can do now. Instead of stressing over what's beyond your control, you made the most of the present moment. You acknowledged that the past is gone, and the future hasn't arrived yet. All you have is today, this moment. And in this moment, you have the power to decide how you show up. You have the power to choose how you respond, what actions you take, and how you move forward. When you stop worrying about what you can't control, you become more resilient. You become someone who understands that setbacks are a part of the journey, but they don't define your success. You become someone who can take responsibility for what's in their power, your actions, your mindset, your attitude. You stop getting caught up in the uncontrollable chaos of life and start focusing on creating your own path. And as you do this, you'll start to notice that your confidence grows. You begin to trust yourself more because you know that, at the end of the day, you can always control how you respond to life's challenges. There's a saying, the only thing you can control is your attitude. And that's exactly right. Your attitude, your mindset, how you approach each day. That's the one thing you can always control, no matter what's happening around you. Life can be unpredictable. People can be unpredictable. But you have the power to decide how you show up in the face of it all. And that's where confidence starts to grow. You'll also notice that when you stop worrying about the things you can't control, you become more focused. When you let go of the unnecessary distractions, when you stop chasing after every external outcome, you're able to focus on the things that matter. You start to take meaningful action, and that creates momentum. That's how real progress happens. That's how you start building the kind of confidence that isn't fragile but solid, unshakable. When you stop worrying about the uncontrollable, you also stop letting fear dictate your life. Fear thrives on uncertainty, and uncertainty thrives when you're stuck in the cycle of worrying about things you can't change. But when you release the need to control every detail, you free yourself from that cycle. You make decisions based on what you know you can do, not based on fear of what might happen. And with every decision you make, you build confidence because you're trusting yourself to navigate the unknown. One of the best things you can do for your confidence is to stop trying to micromanage the universe. Trust that things will unfold the way they're meant to, and your job is to stay present, stay focused, and keep moving forward. Stop letting external circumstances define your worth. Stop letting other people's actions or the unpredictability of life shake your foundation. Instead, stand firm in your own power and let everything else fall into place. When you let go of trying to control everything, you'll feel a sense of peace. You'll feel a freedom that you may not have experienced before. You'll feel more confident because you've stepped into your power. You're no longer waiting for the perfect conditions to show up. You're not waiting for the world to change. You're changing the way you approach the world, and that's where true confidence comes from. The understanding that you can handle whatever comes your way, because you are in control of your mindset, your actions, and your attitude. Nothing else. So let go of the need to control everything around you. Focus on what you can control. Focus on the choices you make, how you respond to life, and how you show up each day. And watch your confidence grow. Because the more you embrace what you can control and release what you can't, the more unstoppable you become. And once you're in control of yourself, there's nothing that can stop you. Number 4, the fastest way to confidence. Do what scares you. There's a hidden truth when it comes to building unshakable confidence. And it might not be what you expect. The fastest way to gain confidence isn't through reading books, taking courses, or endless self-reflection. It's not about waiting until you feel ready or until everything is perfect. The quickest and most effective way to build confidence is to do the very thing that scares you. Yes, that's right. The more you face your fears head on, the faster you build the kind of confidence that's unshakable. Because you start to see that fear is nothing more than an illusion. It's a story you tell yourself about what might happen rather than what is actually happening. And when you choose to act in the face of fear, you break that illusion, step by step, building confidence with every action you take. When you're scared to do something, there's often a reason behind it. Maybe it's the fear of failure, maybe it's fear of rejection, or maybe it's just the fear of the unknown. Whatever it is, the fear feels real. It feels as if it has the power to stop you. But here's the thing, fear only has power over you if you let it. And the best way to take that power back is to do exactly what scares you. The moment you do it, you realize that fear is not the enemy you thought it was. It's just a natural part of the process. It's part of being human. And when you confront that fear, you gain strength, resilience, and confidence in yourself. Think about it. Every time you do something that scares you, whether it's speaking in front of a crowd, asking for what you want, or taking a risk in your career or personal life, you prove to yourself that you can handle discomfort. You show yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. And with each act of courage, your confidence grows. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. It's not about waiting for the fear to go away before you act. It's about acting in spite of the fear and realizing that the fear doesn't define you. Now, I know that doesn't sound easy. In fact, it sounds pretty challenging. But the truth is, the more you avoid what scares you, the more power you give to fear. It controls you when you let it dictate your action. But the moment you decide that you're no longer going to let fear call the shots, you regain control. You start living with intention, with purpose, and with the confidence that you can handle whatever comes your way. Take a moment to think about the times when you felt the most proud of yourself. Chances are, those moments are the ones where you stepped outside your comfort zone. Maybe it was when you made that bold decision that others were too afraid to make. Maybe it was when you spoke your truth in a situation where silence seemed easier. Those moments are powerful because they remind you that you're capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. And they're the moments that prove your confidence wasn't built by avoiding fear, but by facing it directly. There's a misconception that confidence comes from feeling fearless, but that's not the case. Confidence is built through action, even when you're scared. It's knowing that fear doesn't need to stop you. It's acknowledging that the fear is there and doing it anyway. That's where real courage is born. You don't need to wait for the fear to go away. You just need to take that first step. Once you do, you'll notice that the fear isn't as big or as intimidating as it seemed in your mind. It loses its grip on you, and you realize that you can handle it, even if it's uncomfortable. Doing what scares you doesn't just build your confidence. It also teaches you something valuable about yourself. You learn that you're capable of more than you thought. You learn that you can trust yourself, even when things don't go according to plan. You learn that failure is not the end of the road. It's part of the journey. Every time you do something that scares you, you expand your capacity to handle difficult situations. You expand your comfort zone, and in doing so, you make confidence a natural part of who you are. It's easy to look at other people and think that they're just naturally confident. But what you don't see are the countless moments when they've had to face their own fears, their own self-doubt, and their own challenges. They didn't get to where they are by avoiding fear. They got there by stepping through it over and over again. Confidence is not about being fearless. It's about being willing to take action in the face of fear. The more you put yourself in situations that challenge you, the more your confidence grows. It doesn't happen overnight, but every small action you take that pushes you out of your comfort zone adds up. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. You'll look at the person you were and the person you are now, and you'll see someone who has the courage to face whatever comes their way. When you begin to make a habit of doing what scares you, you stop seeing fear as something to avoid. You start to see it as an opportunity for growth. Each time you face your fears, you're growing stronger, more resilient, and more confident. And what's even more powerful is that when you consistently show up for yourself, when you consistently take action despite your fears, you begin to inspire others. Your actions become a beacon for those around you, showing them that they too can face their fears and come out stronger on the other side. The fastest way to confidence is simple. Do what scares you. It's the shortcut to a stronger, more resilient you. And it's the key to unlocking a level of confidence that no one can take away from you. So don't wait for the fear to go away. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just take action. Step into the discomfort. Do the thing that scares you. Because every time you do, you get one step closer to becoming the confident, unstoppable person you were meant to be. Number 5. Confidence is a habit, not a feeling. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's not something that simply appears when the conditions are right or when everything in your life aligns perfectly. Confidence is a habit. It's something that you practice day in and day out. It's the choices you make, the actions you take, and the way you show up for yourself every single day. The key to building unshakable confidence is understanding this. Confidence is not a feeling that comes and goes. It's a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. We often think that confidence is something that only a few lucky people have. We look at those who seem to walk into a room and own it, and we assume that they've been given some sort of special gift. But here's the truth. What they have isn't a gift. It's the result of a habit they've built over time. They've made the decision over and over again to show up for themselves and take action, regardless of how they feel in the moment. That's what confidence is. It's not waiting until you feel confident. It's acting confident, even when you don't feel like it. It's about stepping into the unknown despite the fear, doubt, and uncertainty. And the more you do that, the more confident you become. You see, confidence doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's built from small, consistent actions. It's the way you speak to yourself when you face a challenge. It's the decisions you make when no one is watching. Confidence is the sum of your habits. The way you carry yourself, the way you think about yourself, the way you take action in your life. These things determine whether or not you'll be confident. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or hoping that one day you'll wake up feeling confident. Confidence is a choice you make every single day. Think about the habits that you already have. You have habits that support your growth, and you have habits that hold you back. Some of those habits are empowering, and some are disempowering. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Do you immediately reach for your phone and start scrolling through social media, letting the world's opinions affect your own? Or do you start your day with intention, setting a positive tone for the rest of the day? The habits you build each day create the foundation for how you feel about yourself, and ultimately how confident you are. If you want to build confidence, you need to create a habit of doing the things that make you feel confident. Start small. The more you practice those positive actions, the more natural they will become. One of the most powerful ways to build confidence is by taking action, even when you don't feel ready. It's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you need to wait until you feel confident enough to take action. But the reality is that confidence is built through action, not inaction. When you take action, even if it's uncomfortable at first, you prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. And with every small victory, you build a little more confidence. It becomes a cycle. The more you take action, the more confident you feel. The more confident you feel, the more action you take. It's a habit that feeds itself. It's also important to understand that confidence isn't just about how you present yourself to others. It's about how you show up for yourself. The way you talk to yourself has a huge impact on your confidence. Think about the conversations you have in your head. Are they positive, supportive, and encouraging? Or are they filled with self-doubt and negativity? Confidence is the result of having a mindset that is supportive, not self-critical. When you stop focusing on your flaws and start focusing on your strengths, your confidence naturally begins to grow. You have to be your own biggest supporter. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, or that you don't deserve success, you're not building confidence. You're building self-doubt. But if you tell yourself, I can do this, I am capable, and I am worthy, you begin to shift your mindset, and that shift leads to more confidence. Another key to building confidence is learning to embrace failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of the journey. Every time you fail, you have an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. People who are truly confident understand that failure is not a reflection of who they are. It's simply a stepping stone to success. They don't let failure hold them back. Instead, they use it as a learning experience to keep moving forward. The more you learn to embrace failure, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever challenges come your way. You realize that failure is not something to fear, but something to embrace as part of the process. Confidence is also about being consistent. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. Even when the world is telling you that you're not good enough, or that you can't do something, you show up, and you do it again tomorrow, and the day after that. When you make a habit of showing up for yourself, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, dependable, and capable. Consistency builds trust, both in yourself and in your abilities. And when you trust yourself, confidence comes naturally. Building confidence isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about making the decision right now to start building the habits that will support your growth. It's about making a commitment to yourself, to take consistent action, to embrace failure as part of the process, and to speak to yourself in a positive, empowering way. Confidence doesn't come from a feeling. It comes from the habits you build every single day. It's about showing up for yourself, even when it's hard, and trusting that every small action you take is building the person you want to become. The most confident people in the world didn't get there by accident. They got there by developing the habits that support their confidence. And the good news is that you can do the same. You can start building confidence today, simply by choosing to make the right habits a part of your daily routine. It won't happen overnight, but every step you take toward building these habits brings you one step closer to becoming the confident person you were always meant to be. Confidence is not a feeling, it's a habit, and you have the power to build that habit, starting right now. Number 6, learn to handle rejection without losing your confidence. Rejection is one of the toughest challenges anyone can face, especially when you're working towards something that matters to you. But here's the truth. Rejection is not the end of the road. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's simply a part of the process. Learning to handle rejection without losing your confidence is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. It's what separates those who keep moving forward from those who stop dead in their tracks. The first thing you need to understand is that rejection is not personal. People reject ideas, proposals, and opportunities all the time, not because of who you are, but because of their circumstances, preferences, or limitations. Rejection has nothing to do with your value as a person. When someone turns you down, whether it's for a job, a promotion, a project, or a personal relationship, it doesn't mean you're not good enough. It just means that in that particular moment, with those particular people, things didn't align. That's it. No more, no less. So how do you learn to handle rejection without letting it take a hit on your confidence? First, you have to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing rejection as a failure, start seeing it as feedback. When you face rejection, what you're really getting is a chance to learn, adjust, and improve. It's not the end. It's a signpost that points you toward what you can do differently next time. If you take it personally, you might start questioning your abilities or thinking that you're not good enough. But if you see rejection as feedback, you immediately shift into problem-solving mode. What can you learn from this? What could you do better? How can you grow from this experience? Every successful person has faced rejection, You think they haven't? Think again. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't that they didn't face rejection. It's that they didn't let rejection stop them. They used it as fuel to keep going. They saw rejection as a stepping stone on the way to success, not a barrier. And that's how you have to approach it too. When you face rejection, don't throw in the towel. Use it as an opportunity to improve and keep going. Every rejection gets you one step closer to your goal, even if you don't see it that way in the moment. A huge part of handling rejection without losing your confidence is realizing that it doesn't define you. It doesn't define your potential, your worth, or your future. The only thing rejection defines is a single moment in time. That's all. It's like a bump in the road. It's not the end of the journey. What you do after rejection is what matters most. Do you let it defeat you, or do you rise above it, learn from it, and keep pushing forward? The choice is yours, and it's in those moments after rejection that you truly show your strength and resilience. Let's talk about how you can bounce back stronger after rejection. One of the best ways to handle rejection is to practice self-compassion. This is so important. Rejection can feel tough, but it doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you're putting yourself out there, and that's something to be proud of. The people who never face rejection are the ones who never take any risks, the ones who never put themselves in a position where they can truly grow. You have to acknowledge that rejection is a part of the process, but you also have to be kind to yourself when it happens. Don't beat yourself up. Don't say things like, "I'm not good enough," or "I'm a failure." Instead say, "I gave it my best, and now I'm going to learn from this and try again." Self-compassion isn't about making excuses for yourself. It's about understanding that rejection doesn't make you less capable. It simply makes you human. It's part of the journey. So treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend who's going through the same thing. Remind yourself that you're doing the best you can, and that rejection doesn't diminish your value. It's just one more step on the road to success. Another key to handling rejection without losing your confidence is to build resilience. Resilience is your ability to bounce back after setbacks. And like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. When you face rejection, you have two choices. You can either let it break you down, or you can use it as an opportunity to grow stronger. The more resilient you become, the less you'll be affected by rejection. You'll learn to roll with the punches and keep going, no matter how many setbacks you face. And the more you practice resilience, the more confidence you'll have in your ability to handle anything that comes your way. To build resilience, it's important to maintain a positive outlook. This doesn't mean you should ignore your emotions or pretend like rejection doesn't hurt. Of course it does. But the key is not to stay stuck in those emotions. You don't want to wallow in self-pity or let your disappointment drag you down for too long. Instead, acknowledge the feeling, process it, and then move forward. One of the best ways to do this is by focusing on the bigger picture. Rejection is just a small part of your journey. It doesn't define your future, and it certainly doesn't define your potential. When you remind yourself of your bigger goals and your bigger purpose, it becomes easier to move past the rejection and stay focused on what really matters. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is another crucial part of bouncing back after rejection. The people you spend time with can either build you up or tear you down. So when you face rejection, make sure you're surrounding yourself with those who encourage you, support you, and believe in your abilities. Negative influences can drag you deeper into self-doubt and make it harder for you to bounce back. But positive, supportive people will remind you of your worth and help you see rejection for what it really is, just one moment in time that doesn't define your future. Finally, it's important to remember that rejection is a sign that you're growing. If you're not facing rejection, it means you're not putting yourself out there. You're not taking risks, and if you're not taking risks, you're not growing. Every time you face rejection, you're stretching yourself, pushing your limits, and expanding your comfort zone. Rejection is not a roadblock. It's a sign that you're on the right track, moving towards something bigger and better. Embrace it as part of your growth process. When you learn to handle rejection without losing your confidence, you unlock a power within yourself that's unstoppable. You begin to understand that rejection is not the end. It's just the beginning of a new opportunity. Each time you face rejection, you become stronger, more resilient, and more confident. And the more you keep moving forward, the more you'll realize that nothing, not rejection, not failure, not setbacks, can take away your confidence unless you let it. So face rejection head on, learn from it, and keep moving forward with confidence. Your success is just around the corner. Number 7. Stop comparing yourself to others. There is something incredibly freeing about understanding that the only person you should be competing with is the person you were yesterday. Too many people fall into the trap of comparing themselves to others, and it's a trap that can rob you of your peace, your happiness, and your success. The constant comparison game is one that so many of us play without realizing the damage it causes. It's easy to look at someone else's success, their life, or their journey, and think that somehow you're falling behind. But let me tell you this, comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your motivation, and your confidence. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you can finally start living your life on your own terms. Let's break it down. We live in a world where social media makes it easier than ever to see the highlight reels of everyone around us. You scroll through Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, and all you see are perfectly curated moments, pictures of success, happiness, wealth, beauty, and everything in between. But here's the thing. You're only seeing a fraction of the story. What you don't see are the sleepless nights, the struggles, the failures, and the sacrifices that went into those moments. People share what they want you to see, and it's usually the good stuff. But when you compare yourself to someone's highlight reel, you're comparing yourself to an illusion. It's not real life. And that's a dangerous thing to do, because it causes you to think that you should be where they are, doing what they're doing, or looking how they look. And when you don't measure up, it can leave you feeling inadequate, frustrated, or even lost. But here's the truth. Your journey is yours. It's unique to you, and it's not meant to look like anyone else's. Now, don't get me wrong. It's great to be inspired by others. It's important to learn from people who've done what you want to do, who've achieved what you want to achieve. There's nothing wrong with admiring someone else's success and using that as motivation to push yourself further. But the key is to use that inspiration to fuel your own growth, not to measure yourself against them. When you compare your beginning to someone else's middle, or your struggles to someone else's success, you're doing yourself a disservice. Everyone's journey is different. The circumstances are different. The timing is different. And the obstacles are different. What works for one person may not work for you, and that's perfectly okay. Your path will unfold at its own pace, and that's something you should embrace, not resent. The moment you stop comparing yourself to others is the moment you step into your power. It's the moment you take full ownership of your life and realize that you are enough, just as you are. You don't need to measure up to anyone else. You don't need to fit into someone else's timeline or follow someone else's blueprint for success. You are you, and that's exactly what the world needs. When you let go of comparison, you open up space for self-acceptance, self-love, and self-confidence. And those are the things that will propel you forward. One of the biggest dangers of comparing yourself to others is that it distracts you from your own journey. When you're too focused on what everyone else is doing, you lose sight of your own goals. You start questioning your own progress, and maybe even doubting your own worth. But remember, your path is your own. Your achievements, no matter how small they may seem, are yours, and they deserve to be celebrated. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you give yourself the freedom to appreciate your own growth and progress. You start to realize that every step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. And the more you focus on your own journey, the more empowered you become. Now I get it. It's hard not to compare yourself. It's human nature to want to know how we stack up against others. But here's the thing. You can't control what others are doing. You can't control their achievements, their lives, or their success. What you can control is how you show up for yourself every day. You can control the effort you put in, the mindset you cultivate, and the actions you take toward your goals. That's where your power lies. And when you focus on that, you'll find that the comparison game no longer holds any weight. You'll realize that it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, because you're too focused on becoming the best version of yourself. Think about it. When you're constantly comparing yourself to others, you're also constantly measuring your worth based on external factors. But your worth isn't determined by someone else's success. Your worth is intrinsic. It's in the fact that you're alive, that you're trying, that you're showing up for yourself every day. Your worth is in the work you put in, the growth you experience, and the person you become along the way. No one else can define that for you. Only you can. And here's another thing. Comparison can lead to jealousy and resentment. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you start to feel like you're falling short. And when you feel like you're falling short, it can lead to negative emotions. Instead of feeling motivated by someone else's success, you might feel envious, frustrated, or even angry. But these feelings don't help you grow. They only hold you back. So instead of comparing yourself to others, try to shift your mindset. Look at others with admiration, not envy. Appreciate their journey, but focus on your own. Use their success as a reminder that it's possible, not as proof that you're not good enough. Your time will come. Another important aspect of stopping the comparison game is setting your own standards. When you're constantly comparing yourself to others, you're letting their standards dictate your own. But your goals, your dreams, and your values should be based on what's important to you, not on what someone else is doing. When you stop looking around and start looking within, you'll discover that you have everything you need to succeed. You'll learn to trust your own instincts and to take pride in your own achievements, no matter how different they may be from someone else's. And that's when you truly start to flourish. The key takeaway here is that comparison robs you of your authenticity. It makes you question who you are and what you're capable of. But when you stop comparing yourself to others, you free yourself from that mental prison. You reclaim your power, your focus, and your confidence. And once you do that, you'll find that success is no longer something you have to chase. It's something that comes to you naturally, because you're being your true self. So let go of the need to measure up to anyone else. Your journey is yours, and it's beautiful because of its uniqueness. Embrace where you are right now, and know that every step you take is a step toward your own version of success. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you'll find that the only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. And that, my friend, is all you need to achieve everything you've ever wanted. Number 8. Visualize success. When you close your eyes and imagine where you want to be, what do you see? Do you see yourself standing at the top, feeling the rush of success, knowing that every step you took to get there was worth it? Visualizing success is more than just daydreaming. It's about painting a mental picture of what you want your future to look like and making that vision real in your mind. If you want to change your reality, you first have to see it in your mind's eye. What you visualize consistently will become the driving force behind what you achieve. Visualization isn't a new concept. It's been practiced by athletes, high achievers, and successful people for decades. There's a reason why this technique works. When you visualize success, you create a clear image of what you want in your mind. This powerful tool doesn't just help you focus on your goals, it helps you feel the emotions associated with them as well. That sense of pride, fulfillment, and excitement you feel when you imagine yourself achieving success is what will fuel you during the tough times. When the road seems long and the obstacles feel insurmountable, the more vividly you can picture your success, the more likely it is to happen. Your mind doesn't know the difference between reality and what you vividly imagine, and that's the secret. Now, this isn't to say that you can just sit back, relax, and think positive thoughts while waiting for success to magically appear. That's not how it works. But what it does mean is that your thoughts and images of success will shape your actions and decisions. Your brain starts to believe that what you are visualizing is possible. And when your brain believes it, it will push you toward taking the steps needed to make that vision come to life. Your mindset shifts from doubt to possibility, and every action you take is infused with a new sense of purpose and direction. Think about it. When you're in the middle of a challenge or facing a setback, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But if you have a clear mental picture of what success looks like for you, it becomes easier to push through. You know where you're headed, and that vision pulls you forward even when things get tough. It's that vision of success that will keep you going when it feels like nothing is working. It acts as your North Star, guiding you toward your destination, even in the midst of uncertainty. Visualization is a tool that builds confidence. When you imagine yourself successfully achieving your goals, your mind starts to believe that it is possible for you, and confidence is a huge factor in reaching success. It's not about being perfect or knowing all the answers. It's about trusting yourself and your ability to figure things out along the way. And the more you visualize your success, the more your confidence grows. You begin to trust that it's not just a dream, it's a plan in motion. You're no longer hoping for success to come to you. You're expecting it because you've already seen it unfold in your mind. Another powerful aspect of visualization is that it helps you overcome fear and self-doubt. Fear has a way of paralyzing us and keeping us from taking action. But when you visualize yourself succeeding, you begin to push past those fears. You see yourself handling challenges with grace and determination. You see yourself bouncing back from setbacks, stronger than before. You start to believe that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. This mental rehearsal prepares you for success by allowing you to practice in your mind before you even take the first step in real life. The key to visualization is not just about imagining the end result, but also about visualizing the journey. So often, we focus only on the destination, the big win, the final achievement, the moment we reach the top. But success isn't just a destination, it's a process. The journey is just as important as the end goal, and it's crucial that you visualize not just the end result, but the steps it will take to get there. Picture yourself working through the challenges, making adjustments when things don't go as planned, and continuing to move forward with persistence. The more you can see yourself navigating that path, the more prepared you'll be when obstacles arise in real life. And here's the thing, visualization doesn't just happen passively. It requires effort and repetition. It's about actively engaging with your vision every day. Whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply closing your eyes and visualizing for a few minutes each morning, the more time you spend connecting with your success, the more real it will feel. Success doesn't happen overnight, but the more you align your thoughts with the reality you're striving toward, the closer you get to achieving it. Visualization also serves as a great motivator. When you have a clear vision of your success, it sparks motivation within you. You become more focused on taking consistent action because you have a clear target in mind. It's no longer about going through the motions or wondering what's next. You know exactly what you want, and you have a vivid picture of how it will feel when you achieve it. That's powerful. Motivation becomes a natural byproduct of your visualization because you're not just working toward a goal, you're working toward a vision you can almost taste. And when you can taste that success in your mind, it makes every challenge, every failure, and every setback worth it. There's no secret formula for success, but there is a secret ingredient, belief. And belief is built through consistent visualization. When you see yourself succeeding, you start to believe that you can succeed. That belief is what gives you the strength to keep moving forward when others might give up. It's what separates those who dream from those who do. Visualization isn't just about dreaming. It's about creating a plan and believing so deeply in that plan that you take action to make it happen. As you continue to visualize success, something incredible starts to happen. You start to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You start to notice doors opening, paths clearing, and connections being made. Your brain is constantly searching for ways to turn your vision into a reality. And when you focus your energy and attention on what you want to achieve, the universe starts to align with that energy. The more you visualize, the more your environment shifts to support your success. Things that once seemed impossible suddenly seem within reach, and that momentum builds over time. At the end of the day, visualizing success is about much more than just imagining a positive outcome. It's about creating a clear picture of the life you want, and then aligning your thoughts, your actions, and your energy to make that picture a reality. It's about trusting the process, believing in yourself, and knowing that every step you take, no matter how small, is a step closer to that vision. Success doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen overnight. But when you visualize it, you make it real. And when it's real in your mind, it becomes unstoppable in your life. So take a moment every day to close your eyes and imagine your success. See it, feel it, live it in your mind. The more vivid and real you make it, the more you'll be driven to make it happen. And remember, when you can see it in your mind, you can achieve it in your life. Keep visualizing, keep believing, and keep moving forward. Success is yours for the taking. Number 9. Take care of your physical health. When it comes to living your best life, one thing stands clear. You are the foundation, and the foundation of everything you do. The bedrock that holds all your dreams, ambitions, and desires is your health. Taking care of your physical health isn't just something to think about when you're feeling run down or exhausted. It's a lifelong commitment, a daily choice that makes all the difference between living with energy and purpose or just getting through the day. If you want to be the best version of yourself, you've got to start by taking care of your body. Without it, nothing else will truly matter. Let's be real for a second. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of work, social obligations, and everything else that demands your attention. But at the end of the day, if you don't have your health, nothing else matters. You could have all the money in the world, a beautiful family, and the most exciting career. But if you're constantly battling fatigue, pain, or poor health, none of it will bring you true happiness or fulfillment. Your body is the vessel that carries you through life. If it's not working at its best, then everything else suffers. That's why taking care of your physical health should be at the top of your priority list, not just an afterthought. The energy you put into maintaining your body, keeping it strong, and making sure it's functioning at its highest level will pay off in ways you can't even imagine. When you feel good, you perform better. When you're physically fit, your mind operates more clearly. When you fuel your body with the right nutrients, your spirit is lifted. It's all interconnected, and it all starts with making the decision to prioritize your health. Now let's talk about how you can start taking care of your body right now. The first thing you've got to do is make movement a part of your daily routine. I'm not talking about hitting the gym for hours or training for a marathon, unless that's your thing, of course. I'm talking about incorporating movement into your day in a way that feels natural to you. Whether it's going for a walk, doing yoga, dancing in your living room, or hitting the gym, movement is essential for keeping your body in top shape. You don't need to overcomplicate it. You just need to start moving. Your body was designed to move. It's made to stretch, bend, and push itself to its limits. When you get your body moving, you're not just strengthening your muscles and improving your endurance. You're boosting your mood, increasing your energy, and improving your overall health. And here's the kicker. The more you move, the better you'll feel, and the more you'll want to move. It becomes a cycle. When you get that first burst of energy from a quick workout, it fuels your motivation to keep going. And before you know it, taking care of your body becomes something you look forward to, not something you dread. But it's not just about exercise. It's also about what you put into your body. You are what you eat. The food you consume plays a massive role in how you feel, how much energy you have, and how well your body functions. If you constantly fuel yourself with processed foods, sugary snacks, and junk, your body will reflect that. You'll feel sluggish, run down, and maybe even irritable. But when you nourish your body with the right foods, you feel lighter, energized, and ready to tackle whatever life throws your way. Eating a balanced diet isn't about depriving yourself or following the latest food trend. It's about making smart choices and finding a healthy balance that works for you. Load up on whole foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. These foods fuel your body with the nutrients it needs to perform at its best. And don't forget to drink plenty of water. Hydration is key to maintaining energy levels, keeping your skin looking great, and supporting every system in your body. When you hydrate properly, you're giving your body the fuel it needs to keep going strong. But physical health isn't just about exercise and food. Sleep is another critical component that often gets overlooked. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to sacrifice sleep in the name of productivity. But let me tell you, if you're not getting enough rest, you're hurting yourself in the long run. Sleep is when your body heals, regenerates, and recharges. It's when your brain processes the day's events, and when your immune system gets to work. Without enough sleep, your mind becomes foggy, your mood drops, and your physical performance suffers. If you want to be at your best, you've got to make sleep a priority. And it's not just about the quantity of sleep, it's about the quality too. Make sure you're getting restful, uninterrupted sleep by establishing a bedtime routine. Try to go to bed at the same time each night. Avoid screens for at least an hour before bed, and create a calming environment to help you unwind. The better your sleep, the better your body will function, and the more energy you'll have during the day. Another key part of physical health is managing stress. We all know life can be stressful at times, but how you manage that stress is what determines your overall well-being. Chronic stress can take a serious toll on your body. It can weaken your immune system, disrupt your sleep, and even contribute to weight gain. But here's the thing, stress doesn't have to control you. You can learn how to manage it effectively. Start by finding activities that help you unwind and relax. Whether that's meditating, practicing deep breathing, journaling, or even just taking a few minutes to sit in silence and clear your mind. By taking care of your mental health, you're also taking care of your physical health. Your mind and body are connected, and when you nurture one, the other benefits. Taking care of your physical health is an investment in your future. The energy you put into looking after yourself today will pay off tomorrow. You'll have the strength to chase your dreams, the stamina to overcome obstacles, and the confidence to take on whatever comes your way. When you feel good in your body, everything else falls into place. You become more productive, more focused, and more resilient. You attract success because you're operating from a place of strength and vitality. Remember, your health is the one thing you can't get back once it's gone. It's the most valuable asset you have, and it's your responsibility to take care of it. Prioritize your physical health, and everything else will follow. By moving your body, fueling it with the right nutrients, getting enough rest, and managing stress, you're setting yourself up for a life of success, happiness, and fulfillment. So take action today. Your future self will thank you for it. Number 10. Invest in personal growth every day. There's one thing that can truly set you apart from everyone else around you, and that is your commitment to personal growth. Think about it for a second. What you do today, how you invest in yourself every single day, is what shapes who you become tomorrow. Personal growth isn't something that happens overnight. It's a long-term investment, and just like any worthwhile investment, the more you put into it, the more you'll see it grow, evolve, and pay off in ways you can't yet imagine. The truth is, when you choose to invest in yourself every day, you are setting yourself up for a future full of possibilities, opportunities, and success. It all starts with you, and it all begins now. Imagine waking up every morning with the intention to become just a little better than you were yesterday. Not a huge leap, just a small step in the right direction. Over time, those little improvements start to stack up. You'll be amazed at the growth that happens when you make a consistent commitment to becoming a better version of yourself. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, to focus on the external things like work, relationships, and responsibilities. But the most important investment you'll ever make is in your own growth, your own development, and your own potential. Personal growth isn't just about reading self-help books or attending seminars. It's about the daily actions you take to improve yourself. It's about the choices you make, the habits you cultivate, and the mindset you develop. Every day you're either growing or you're stagnating. There's no in between. If you're not consciously investing in yourself, you're letting opportunities for growth slip through your fingers. But when you decide to commit to this journey of personal growth, the results are staggering. You start to see yourself and the world around you differently. You gain new skills, new perspectives, and new levels of confidence. One of the first steps in investing in personal growth is making the decision to learn something new every day. Whether it's picking up a book, listening to a podcast, or watching a video that teaches you something useful, you're feeding your mind with knowledge that will pay off in the future. The best part is that it doesn't have to be a massive time commitment. Just set aside a few minutes each day to learn something new, and you'll be amazed at how quickly the knowledge adds up. And the more you learn, the more confident you'll become in your abilities. You'll start to see new opportunities and connections that you never noticed before, and you'll be equipped to handle challenges with a clear, informed mind. But personal growth is also about stepping out of your comfort zone. It's about pushing yourself to do things that scare you, that challenge you, and that force you to grow in ways you never imagined. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you're willing to take risks, make mistakes, and face fear head-on. Each time you challenge yourself, you learn something valuable about your limits, your strengths, and your potential. The more you push yourself, the more you discover what you're truly capable of. This is the real magic of personal growth. It's about continually stepping into the unknown and trusting that you will rise to the occasion. Investing in personal growth is also about building strong, positive habits that reinforce your progress. It's easy to fall into habits that hold you back, like procrastinating, giving in to distractions, or making excuses. But when you commit to growth, you start to recognize the power of small, positive actions. These are the things that over time create big changes. It could be as simple as writing down your goals every morning, practicing gratitude, or taking a few minutes to reflect on your progress. These habits become the foundation for your success. They create momentum, and that momentum propels you forward, even when you don't feel like it. When you make personal growth a habit, it becomes second nature. It becomes a part of who you are. Let's talk about your mindset for a moment. The way you think has everything to do with how you grow. If you have a fixed mindset, where you believe that your abilities are limited, you'll struggle to make progress. But when you adopt a growth mindset, where you believe that your skills can be developed through hard work and dedication, everything changes. A growth mindset is the key to unlocking your full potential. It opens up a world of possibilities and opportunities that you might have once thought were beyond your reach. With the right mindset, challenges become exciting opportunities for growth. Failures become stepping stones, and setbacks become lessons. You start to see the world not as a series of obstacles, but as a place full of chances to learn and evolve. Along with mindset, you've got to take responsibility for your own growth. It's easy to point fingers at external circumstances or blame other people for where you are in life. But the truth is, your growth is in your hands. You are the one who decides what kind of person you want to become and how hard you're willing to work to get there. There's no one else to rely on but yourself. This is both empowering and challenging at the same time. It's empowering because it means you have the power to shape your future. But it's also challenging because it requires you to take ownership of your actions, choices, and decisions. No one else is going to do it for you. But if you make the choice to invest in yourself every day, you'll see the results in your life, and the rewards will be worth every ounce of effort. Another important part of investing in personal growth is surrounding yourself with the right people. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you want to grow, you need to be around people who are also committed to growth, who inspire you to be better, and who challenge you to reach your full potential. These are the people who will push you when you're feeling lazy, who will support you when you're facing difficulties, and who will celebrate your successes with you. Surrounding yourself with positive, motivated people is one of the best ways to accelerate your growth. It's like having a team of cheerleaders who are always there to lift you up and help you reach new heights. Investing in personal growth isn't something you do once in a while. It's something you do every single day. It's the small, consistent actions that lead to massive change over time. It's about making a commitment to yourself to keep growing, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And the best part is, this journey never ends. You can always improve, always become better, always expand your horizons. The potential for growth is limitless. So make the decision today to invest in yourself. Choose to grow and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The more you invest in your personal growth, the more you'll realize that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. The future is yours. Go out and make the most of it. I hope you're starting to see just how powerful you can be when you focus on building your confidence every single day. It's not something that happens overnight, but with every small action you take, you're getting closer to that unstoppable confidence you want. Remember, it's all about taking those small steps, facing discomfort, and trusting yourself along the way. Don't wait for the perfect moment to feel confident. Create it. Keep putting in the effort. Handle rejection with grace and keep pushing through the challenges. You are capable of so much more than you think. Confidence is built through action, and that action starts with you. So as you finish watching this, think about one thing you can do today to take that next step forward. Whether it's speaking up when you normally wouldn't, trying something new, or simply reminding yourself that you're worthy of success, take that step and keep going. The more you invest in yourself, the stronger your confidence will become. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this journey. Now go out there, take action, and build the unstoppable confidence that will carry you to places you never thought possible. You've got this. Keep going, and let's make it happen.